Welcome to episode 20 of Discovering Nagasaki from a Local. My name is Chad, and this is where you can experience everyday life in this scenic and fascinating part of Japan. This is a good opportunity for me to introduce you to our cat, Minnie. She's 15 years old now, 76 in human years. Say hello, Minnie. I'll let her down now because she's anxious to get back to her passion in life, sleeping. To the best of my knowledge, this is the only weekly vlog channel in Japan. If you know of another example, please let me know. So far, only Daniel Hazen was correctly able to answer both of last week's vlog questions. Denise Rollheiser was able to correctly answer this first question. The first question was, how many pumpkins were on the top of our concrete retaining wall? The answer is 10 pumpkins. The second question was, what 3 words are written after Remember Winter on the New Zealand Cloak of Peace statue in Peace Park? The answer is Spring's Welcome Consolation. And now for this week's crash course in kanji root particles. Group G kanji root particles include 1000, tongue, heavy, perfume, number, master, court, hand, ride, hang, act, go, bottle, and chicken. I will cover Group H kanji root particles next week. Anyone who has an interest in Japanese food, fine arts, or martial arts will benefit from a basic knowledge of kanji. Today's vlog, I will show you how to cook mabudofu, a tofu dish. I'll also show you the scenery at House Temples, Kyushu's largest theme park. Let's get started. In order to make 3 servings of mabudofu, you will need the following ingredients: 200 grams of hamburger, 350 grams of tofu, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, a total of 400 milliliters of water, 10 grams of starch, 10 grams of gochujang Korean chili paste, 40 grams of miso, 6 grams of ago dashi, 8 grams of shiitake mushrooms, 15 grams of ginger, 5 grams of garlic, 130 grams of onions, 100 grams of carrots, and 50 grams of bell peppers. First, you have to fry up the hamburger and then cut up all the vegetables and tofu. Then put 1 teaspoon of sesame oil into the fry pan and heat up the onions, garlic, and ginger. Once the onions, garlic, and ginger are ready, add them to the hamburger in the fry pan. Then add the gochujang chili paste. The miso, the ago dashi, and some water to the fry pan. Turn on the stove and heat up the fry pan. Then add the carrots and shiitake to this fry pan and let everything simmer for 5 minutes or so. After it has simmered for a while, you will notice that the sauce is a little thin. Now you need to add the diluted starch to the fry pan. Followed by a tablespoon of soy sauce. Stir it around a little bit. On top of this, you should add the chopped bell peppers and the tofu cubes to the fry pan. Let it simmer for a short time and stir the mixture gently with a spoon. In this case, a happy spoon. After simmering for 2 minutes, you can see that the sauce has thickened up quite a bit. Turn off the stove and add some rice to a large mumintrol dish. Then use a ladle to transfer the mabu tofu to the dish. And there you have it, a spicy tofu dish that's delicious and easy to make. I'm now at the entrance of House Tempels, not far from Sasebo. House Tempels is a popular Dutch theme park that has been around since 1992. This park was built 8 years before the 400th anniversary of trade between the Netherlands and Japan. The park features many Dutch-style buildings such as hotels, museums, shops, and restaurants. It also has canals, windmills, flower gardens, and amusement rides. Although there aren't many people here today, more than 4.2 million visitors came to this park in 1996. It's after 3 p.m. now, and I will show you several venues in this park while it is still daylight. The sun will set in about 2 hours. This vantage spot on Flower Road, you can see 2 large windmills with Hotel Okura in the background. The windmills are skirted by multicolored rows of pansies and canals on either side. Here on the left is a ferry carrying passengers down this canal. I am now in the public square of Attraction Town near the Dinosaur Land building. From here, you can see all of the Christmas trees and decorations on display around this large fountain. Look at all the Santas climbing these buildings on the left. I'm now on the bridge leading to this park's rose garden. As I pan to the right, you can see the Dawn Clock Tower, the Ferris wheel, and the Win Sasebo building. This is the bridge leading to the Dawn Clock Tower. It's 105 meters tall, and it's modeled after the clock tower of St. Martin's Cathedral in Utrecht. Notice the black illumination drape on the right next to the canoes in the rose garden. This is Amsterdam Square, the place for live entertainment. This park is surrounded by many shops and home to this cathedral-like Guillemon Museum. This is what the harbor close to Amsterdam Square looks like just before dusk. As I pan to the right from the clock tower, you can see the light show in progress in and around the rose garden. Here's the light show view from the rose garden side of the canal. Under the sea of blue lights is a large garden of roses that are still in bloom. Here you can see a better view of the clock tower and the animated dragon on the illumination drape. Here's the illuminated Ferris wheel next to the rose garden. Notice that it's still moving and carrying passengers. As you can see here, there's a huge number of glimmering lights for people to view as they walk along these rose garden paths. This is the view of the Ferris wheel that I showed you 2 hours earlier. As I pan to the left, you can see an illuminated view of the clock tower, canal, trees, and on the left, houses. This is a nighttime view of the fountain that I showed you earlier in Attraction Town. And here is a large illuminated Gundam robot that's on display in Attraction Town. This is a live evening performance at Amsterdam Square. Even audience members are dancing to this old disco tune from ABBA. Here's a nighttime view of Guillemon Museum and the nearby buildings that I showed you earlier in Amsterdam Square. And this is an illuminated view of the windmills and pansy garden that I showed you earlier. It takes a lot of effort to set up and maintain this type of dynamic light show. This is what the ferry I showed you earlier looks like at night, moving down this illuminated canal. Here's a nighttime view of the buildings along this canal next to the art garden at House Tempos. And this is my final video clip from House Tempos. A ferry gliding down a canal with seated passengers viewing the spectacular light show on all sides. And now for this week's challenging questions. First, what 2 words were engraved on the wooden spoon I used in my cooking demo today? Second, what was the name of the ABBA song that was playing in Amsterdam Park? You can find a complete list of the contents of my vlog episodes on the Facebook link listed below. Remember to give this video a thumbs up before you leave today. Today's B-roll involved cooking, so in episode 21, my B-roll will involve baking. See you next week.